Hey guys, how you doing? This is Andy here, aka Montolio from Clan Magic Eternal, and we're recording a 2-man. I am now fully powered and feeling pretty good about jumping into 2-man. So we have won the die roll, and we're playing against our clanmate and buddy, Fist Alpha. And this is a pretty crazy hand. I think we just lead out with a turn 1. Hard to say. Maybe we just lead out with the turn 1 Wurmcoil, and then next turn we can follow up with the Cavern of Souls into Lodestone. I think that's the play. We keep this. You know, we're at risk for Swords to Plowshares, but I have no idea what my opponent is playing, or Force of Will is going to get our Wurmcoil, which is a pretty good trade because he's getting a Black Lotus and a Wurmcoil for a Force of Will and whatever card he expends. So, but Wurmcoil is just going to put a ton of pressure on him. Let's see if we can slide it through here. Nope. I've had really quite bad luck in the last couple days with just getting smoked with Force of Wills. Last night I played in a daily event, and my in a pivotal game 3, my opponent was able to double Force of Will, a double Wurmcoil, and it was really painful. I will not lie to you. And this is a kind of a bad situation here because, you know, we don't want our Lodestone to trade with a Resolved Delver. I think I just get a Chalice out here and set it at 1. Yeah. I am going to play the Cavern here in case he's playing Daze. I don't suspect that's the case, but my apologies. Okay, so we'll just pass there. I mean, we're going to need to top deck some stuff here, but Chalice at 1 should be pretty good against him. Oh, Time Walk. Are you kidding me? Hopefully he doesn't have a second land. And sometimes these decks do cheat on land. Oh, he doesn't have one. Wow. Well, Lodestone Golem should be pretty good if I can get him into play here. Which, of course, I can with a Cavern. So that's going to keep him off Time Walk for a while. What I'd really love to draw here is a Staff of Nin, Lodestone Golem, Steel Hellkite, or Wurmcoil Engine. Or even a Metamorph would be really good here. I'd even settle for a Wasteland. Okay, Sphere of Resistance is a pretty good one. A little bit lagged here. Doing a lot on my computer at the moment. I'm uploading a video, a draft I did onto our Clan Magic Eternal YouTube site, and I'm doing Camtasia, and I've also got 2 Magic accounts open, so the poor little engine that could my computer is. I'm not going to actually play the other workshop here. I don't see a reason to do it. And of course, Mana Vault is currently a dead card. Being relatively new to Vintage here, although I've followed it for many years, but never having really played it, one of the things I've had to get used to here is you know, having dead cards in my hand, which I'm not used to having dead. Like, you know, if you set your Chalice at 0 in Storm, you know, I've got several dead 0 casting card cost cards, right? 5 Mox and Black Lotus Mana Crypt. It's quite bad that way. So I am not going to attack here. I don't really want to trade, right? Not at the moment anyways. He's still got a ways to go before he can get over top, and he has to peel two other lands. So I'm hoping that we can stall him out here until we draw some Thunder. Yeah, he got one. Come on, business. Oh yeah. That is business. That's what I'm talking about. Now we will definitely attack him. And of course he will trade. Now he still can't cast a spell here. You may wonder, why didn't I cast a Lodestone first? But he still can't cast anything because I've got a Chalice at 1. And of course he cannot counter my... So I would suspect this would seal it, but I guess I don't know 100%, but you know, if he was to peel a couple lands here, and you know, I don't even know how he gets out of this. He'd have to peel multiple lands and get a threat down that can take down a Lodestone, which are not too many in this type of deck. I guess one creature that would be good if he could ever get 4 mana to cast it would be the Young Pyromancer, if he's happens to be running that, which he very likely is. So he still can't actually cast anything here that doesn't get countered, so I'm not sure what he's doing. But I could be proven wrong here. Because I've got Double Sphere, which leaves him 1 mana, and I've got a Chalice at 1. So, beg your pardon, there's a high probability, I think, that he runs into our Chalice here. So once again, we're looking for those repeat threats we mentioned earlier, as well as a Wasteland. Any type of sphere is good. Lodestone Column would be the best. Okay, that's completely fine. Now he would have to force a will this here if he wants to stop it, which is what he's going to do. Or is he casting a Spell Pierce here? Also, Tangle Wire would be... Oh gosh, okay. That's extremely dangerous for my opponent to be doing that. If he misses here... yeah, that's just game for him. There's no way he could go back that type of mana. Okay, and we bricked pretty huge there in the next couple draws. I hit Tangle Wire 3 cards later. Rather weak. I don't know if he's running Stone Forges. Trinisphere is good. What do we want to take out here? Chalice is actually... Chalice is never as good on the draw, but it's really good against this deck if you can get one down at no matter what point in the game. So I think I'm probably apt to keep it. Wormcoil's solid. Maybe just go down to Staff here. Actually, Staff is pretty potent. Maybe we don't need 2, though. I'll take out a Vault and bring in a Crucible as well. Ah, evidently I'm playing a 61 Carter, and I didn't even realize it. Sweet. Okay. Never a good idea. Let's pop. Okay. So this is actually not a good hand. I would love to keep it, but we would need to have another mana for this to be effective. So I'm going to ship that one back. And I think this is fine. Not great, but Hellkite is a very potent card, and I think it's difficult for him to beat with a Cavern. So it looks like we're going to get a quick play here out of him this time. And of course, we're not really sure what our opponent is playing. I mean, we've seen a Delver of Secrets, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully we can draw some business here. Okay. I think I'm going to get the Crypt in here. Now my opponent's going to be going, what in the tar just happened there? Hopefully we don't get wastelanded. Very curious to know how my opponent would be able to kill a Hellkite, but I guess he could Jace it. Okay, let's see if we can win a coin flip here. Oh yeah. The old Staff of Ringo, eh? I think we play a Staff here. Well, take your pick. I mean, you can't leave the Staff and Nin here. That much is for sure. Unless you've got a Force of Will, which pretty much cleans me out. I suspect he'll take a Hellkite here. But if he doesn't have a Force of Will, maybe the Staff and Nin's correct. Both of them are trouble. The difference being is I can actually next turn cast a Hellkite with a Cavern, so which is probably worth waiting for. Really like Staff and Nin. I actually just cut one from the deck. I was running 2, but when I realized I had 61 cards, I cut it. But what I am going to do is go back and cut the Mox Opal. Okay, so he took my... So let's see if we can resolve a Staff and Nin here. I mean, it's possible he's got the Force of Will, but I also think it's going to be very difficult for him to stop the Wurmcoil, so we'll just go right on ahead and try and get that in. I suspect he does have a Force here. He doesn't. Okay, well, let's get rid of that right now. And we'll play a Mox Opal. And the Wurmcoil is going to nicely supplement that Mana Crypt there. He has no idea that we actually have the Wurmcoil, and it's going to be a hard card for him to beat. Now, of course, we are post-sideboard here, so it's very possible that he does have artifact removal. I don't know if he's running green. He is running the Misty Rainforest, but we didn't actually see a green source last turn, so Ancient Grudge would be quite good for him here. once again. Hopefully he's short on lands, which it doesn't appear he is. Staffing In, though, is not a card that he can leave here. He has to answer this pretty much now, because otherwise I just get way far ahead with it. I think drawing 2 cards a turn is really bonkers. Can we win the die roll again? Oh, Wasteland's a nice card. I'm not going to play it this turn, but... Lost the flip. Alright, well, you can't win them all, I suppose. Mox Opal. How terrible. Alright, let's get the old cavern out here. Alright. Throw a Force of Will at that. Okay, so he is mana draining, so that means he's probably got a Jace. Well, if he had a Jace last turn, he could have done it. Oh, he's gushing. Interesting. Okay. Be interesting to see if he Force of Wills this year. Sometimes people don't pay attention and they do that. And they don't realize there's a cavern. In addition to that, cavern I don't think is a common card that you see necessarily in Stax decks. I mean, it's not a new innovation, but certainly has been played moderately in Classic, but not in Vintage to my knowledge. Okay, that's a nice card to draw. And nothing we can do about that. So hopefully that gush didn't draw him into anything. When you gush like that with a Time Walk, it looks pretty good. Another gush, wow. Interesting. He's just going for it here. I don't know that that is right. I'm not sure what he's after here, but unless he's got a board sweeper, that seems really quite poor to me. Lightning bolts, okay. Not going to do too much here. I gotta tell you, I've just been playing Vintage for the really the last couple days, and as I just got fully powered last night, and I gotta tell you, it is just so much fun. It's amazing. I can't tell you how. I mean, I've been waiting for this for 10 years to come online, and you know, particularly in the last year and a half when we found out it was coming, and it is really living up to its name, and it looks like the format's going to thrive. Like, you know, a couple daily events fired last night, and hoping that one's going to fire tonight. So I don't think the 6:30 fired tonight Eastern Standard Time, but I think the 9:30 has a good shot at it. So lost the flip. Well, I'll tell you what, I can live with that with a Wormcoil Engine on the table. And I'm going to lead out with Thorn, and I'm going to lead out with another Thorn. No reason not to. This just basically nullifies him from doing any spells on me. Oh. Let's attack in, and I'm just going to play a... Actually, I am going to play a Wasteland here. I could hide it from him, but the reality is he's not casting any creatures here that are going to scare me, I don't think. He's on a 2-turn clock here as we stand. And for those of you who haven't watched my videos in the past, I am a big Shops fan. I've always enjoyed playing it since Workshop has been online, and actually before Workshops. And I Yeah, it's since the restriction of Lodestone Golem and Sphere Resistance in Classic, I really haven't enjoyed playing it as much because the deck was essentially neutered in a lot of ways. And since Vintage has come back, of course, Lodestone Golem and Sphere Resistance are both legal, so I've really enjoyed playing the deck again. I managed a 2-2 last night in my first daily event, and felt a little unfortuitous to end up having to go 2-2, but that's the breaks, and was definitely playing against some good players, and kind of saw how those a lot of the decks I see in Vintage work. There was nothing unforeseen, mind you, in the metagame, but it was a lot of fun. Okay, there's a good guy. Let's try Tails again. All right. And, yeah. Let's get our friend in here. And I think I forgot to plunk my opponent for damage, but that's okay. I'm jammering away to you guys here. So it's worth the sacrifice because almost assuredly my opponent cannot answer this Wurmcoil. And he's going to have to contest with a Forge Master here and a Factory shortly. Actually, I did use my staff last turn. I killed a Vendilion Clique, so I didn't let you down. So I think that's game, guys. I can't imagine him being able to do anything here. I know he's thinking long and hard about it. There we go, guys. Thanks for watching.